I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Special Counsel Jack Smith just made 3 filings Friday evening, a flurry of filings on the federal docket. Let's go through each of these filings. The first filing is the government's motion for a continuance of trial and proposed revised scheduling order seeking to move the trial date from August 14th of 2023 to December 11th, 2023. And before you get upset about that, note that in our prior videos here on the MeidasTouch Network, we discussed that August 14th, 2023 date that was set by Judge Aileen Cannon pursuant to the Speedy Trial Act was a placeholder date to begin with, that it was likely going to be moved. And so Jack Smith requesting that the trial date be set for December 11th, 2023, which, by the way, Donald Trump is going to be objecting to this. What Special Counsel Jack Smith is actually saying is, let's move this along quickly and set a firm trial date in 2023. So I will discuss more about that, but I wanted to at least address that from the outset. The other motion filed by Special Counsel Jack Smith, or filing, is the government's motion to implement special conditions of release. And here, Special Counsel Jack Smith asked to file under seal the list of 84 witnesses that he intends to call against Donald Trump in order to implement the conditions set by Magistrate Judge Goodman during the arraignment. We'll talk about that on this video. And finally, Special Counsel Jack Smith filed the government's motion for a pretrial conference pursuant to CIPA, the Classified Information Procedures Act, and appointment of a classified information security officer. Taken together, these are actually steps by Special Counsel Jack Smith to move this case along expeditiously and to try to get this trial heard in 2023 in advance of what were and are inevitably going to be motions filed by Donald Trump to delay. So if you think for a second Special Counsel Jack Smith is trying to delay this thing, that's the exact opposite of what is going down here. Under the Classified Information Procedures Act, there is a lengthy security clearance period. So again, there's no way that August 14th, 2023 date was going to hold. If you look at Judge Aileen Cannon's scheduling order, specifically subsection 10, it talks about the idea of any motion for continuance required as a result of CIPA, the Classified Information Procedures Act. And if you look at the opening salvo of her omnibus order setting the trial date for August 14, 2023, it talks about this case is hereby set for a criminal jury trial during the 2-week period commencing August 14, 2023, or as soon thereafter as the matter may be called, or as soon thereafter would be based on if there were reasonable continuances being requested. So here Jack Smith is saying, let's do this case in 2023. We're ready to go in December. Ball is in Donald Trump's court. Let's take a look at the government's motion for continuance and proposed revised scheduling order pursuant to paragraph 10 of Judge Aileen Cannon's omnibus trial setting order. Here, Special Counsel Jack Smith writes, the government has reviewed and reviewed the court's omnibus order setting a trial date and establishing pretrial instructions and sentencing procedures. For the reasons discussed below, the government files this motion to continue the trial date to December 11th, 2023, and to propose the associated intervening deadlines discussed below. A declaration of support is filed herewith. Government counsel have conferred with counsel for defendant Trump and defendant Nauta in good faith in an effort to resolve the subject matter of this motion by agreement. Defense counsel confirmed they do not oppose an adjournment of the current trial date and request a status hearing with the court to address the schedule in this action. Defense counsel anticipates filing an opposition to this motion addressing their objections to the government's proposed date. So Donald Trump's lawyers anticipate filing an opposition to this motion addressing their objections to the government's proposed date. So why is Donald Trump objecting to this? Because they don't want the trial in 2023. This is very tactical by Special Counsel Jack Smith. It's showing how aggressive he's being, how ready for trial he actually is, because you know what Donald Trump is going to request. We haven't seen the motion, but we can almost with 99% probability predict here on the MeidasTouch network what that motion is going to request, right? It's going to say the trial should be held 90 days out or 120 days out from the 2024 election, right? So anticipating that, Special Counsel Jack Smith's like, we're ready to go in 2023. Donald Trump's response is, we're good for an adjournment, meaning don't do the trial on August 14th, but we're going to be objecting to your 2023 date in December. Special Counsel Jack Smith is cutting right through it, trying to get this on file before Donald Trump can file his motion seeking to delay. That's precisely what's going on here. Then the relevant procedural history is cited in this motion. A grand jury in this district returned an indictment against Donald Trump and Walt Nauta June 8th, 2023. On June 13th, 2023, defendant Trump made his initial appearance and entered a not guilty plea at his arraignment before Magistrate Judge Jonathan Goodman. Remember that name? The same day, defendant Nauta made his initial appearance before Judge Goodman, but has not yet been arraigned or entered a plea. Nauta's arraignment scheduled for June 27, 2023. On June 19, 2023, Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhart granted the government's motion for a protective order. The next day, this court issued its omnibus order, setting trial date and establishing pretrial instructions and sentencing procedures, which calendared trial for the 2-week period commencing August 14, 2023. Then it goes on to cite the statute that says it contains an exhaustive list of factors the court should consider when granting a continuance. As an initial matter, this case is not so unusual or complex as to fall within this other subsection because it has only 2 defendants, involves straightforward theories of liabilities, and does not present novel questions of fact or law. Boom, you got Special Counsel Jack Smith putting the marker in. This is a simple case, Judge, right? Before Donald Trump's lawyers ever file their motion where they're going to say it's complex and involves a former president. This is unprecedented. Jack Smith saying this is a simple case and we're ready to go. Paragraph 5 says, however, this case does involve classified information and will necessitate defense counsel obtaining requisite security clearances. As the court is aware, that process is already underway. According to the litigation support group, decisions on interim clearances for defense counsel should be made within 48 hours of submission of the relevant forms. Interim clearances will enable counsel to review the vast majority of classified discovery. The decision on granting the final clearance required to allow counsel's review of the remaining small number of classified documents is estimated to occur within 45 to 60 days of the form submission. So that's already takes you out to the August 14th date, right? That's why you can't have the trial on that date. So Special Counsel Jack Smith's like, this case is under SEPA. It's not complex, but it does involve classified information. That's going to take time. We'll allow defense counsel to have that time, but let's do this thing in December. And then talks about more processes and procedures with SEPA. And then it says, and this is why all of these videos we do build on top of each other. Paragraph 7 says, following the entry of the protective order, the government has moved swiftly to produce all unclassified discovery to the defense and already provided a significant portion of that production beginning on June 21, 2023. The production includes evidence obtained via subpoenas, evidence obtained via warrants, transcripts of grand jury testimony, memorialization of witness interviews, a reproduction of key documents that in the government's view are pertinent to the case, and copies of CCTV footage, surveillance footage that the government obtained during its investigation. So look, Judge, we've turned over everything. We are ready to go. let's do this trial in 2023. And then the court, then he says the court should have its calendar call for that December 11th trial. Let's set the calendar call for December 5th of 2023. And then it has other deadlines in 2023. So this is a move by Special Counsel Jack Smith. Keep a 2023 trial date. The next filing by Special Counsel Jack Smith, the government's motion to implement special conditions of release. And this talks about how Magistrate Judge John Goodman ruled that there was a special condition to be placed on Donald Trump's release, that he cannot communicate with witnesses, in this case, about the case itself. So in order to effectuate that special condition that was ordered by the magistrate judge, that Donald Trump can't speak directly with witnesses to this case about the case, other than through lawyers, having communications with lawyers. In this filing, Special Counsel Jack Smith submits the names of the witnesses under seal. And this is the important part, though, of it. It says, 1, this list does not comprise all of the witnesses the government might call at trial. The government has conferred with counsel for Defendant Trump and Defendant Nauta about this motion. They have authorized the government counsel to represent the following. Defense counsel takes no position on the government's motion to seal the list of witnesses, but the defense reserves the right to object to the special condition and the manner in which it was implemented by the government by providing a list of 84 witnesses in purported compliance with the order. So Special Counsel Jack Smith submitting under seal. Why is it under seal? Meaning not in a public forum, not in the public docket, because they know that the MAGA folk are going to harass and engage in stochastic terrorism with the individuals on that list. So they're submitting the witness list under seal, but 84 witnesses. 84 witnesses. I'm just going to write that down again and put it all in caps. 84 witnesses against Donald Trump. But here you're also seeing that the defense, Trump, criminal defendant Donald Trump's lawyers, criminal defendant Walt T. Nauta's lawyers are reserving the right to object to that condition, meaning that they're going to perhaps argue to Judge Aileen Cannon they should speak to these individuals about the case without the lawyers present. But that's what that filing is. Submit the witness list to implement the conditions of Magistrate Judge Goodman, who he was the one who oversaw the arraignment, but now the magistrate judge for all other purposes is going to be Judge Bruce Reinhardt, who will handle discovery disputes. And if there's disputes over that, it'll probably be Magistrate Judge Reinhardt, not Aileen Cannon, who would deal with that. And finally, the government's motion for a pretrial conference pursuant to the Classified Information Procedures Act, CIPA, and appointment of a classified information security officer. And this motion says this prosecution involves classified records containing national defense information. The indictment charges criminal defendant Donald J. Trump with willfully retaining national defense information, and it charges defendant Trump and defendant Walt T. Nauta with obstructing the government's effort to retrieve those records and making or causing to be made false statements. Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 16 obligates the government to provide classified materials to the defense in discovery in this case. Moreover, a subset of classified documents will comprise part of the government's proof at trial. Accordingly, the Classified Information Procedures Act will play a significant role. It will govern pretrial, how the court oversees classified discovery, and rules on the potential discoverability of certain classified information. It provides a framework for the court to decide, again, pretrial issues related to the admissibility of classified information. So here's Special Counsel Jack Smith saying, let's hold a hearing immediately. Let's talk about CIPA. Let's talk about the obligations of the parties. But look at the strategy right here by Special Counsel Jack Smith. Brilliant. Special Counsel Jack Smith realizes Judge Aileen Cannon really doesn't have any criminal trial experience at all. So here, Special Counsel Jack Smith learned from the other case involving Donald Trump where he filed to get Judge Aileen Cannon to take over jurisdiction of the search warrant. Special Counsel Jack Smith has learned Judge Aileen Cannon's, I'll be generous here and say idiosyncratic nature, but I could say other things there. So Special Counsel Jack Smith's like, we're taking control of this. We are in control. We want to hold a hearing. We will be leading the way. Follow our lead. We know this area of law. Donald Trump's lawyers have no clue what they're doing. We will go through this process together. This is a simple case. This is a slam dunk case. This is a case that we should follow order. We will teach you how to do this case, Judge Aileen Cannon. Just follow our lead right here, and you, in other words, won't look like a corrupt individual again. And I think that's a lot what's going on here as well. So those are the three big filings, just happened on Friday night. Wanted to share them with you. Now you're fully up to speed. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, and wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast. Have an excellent rest of your day. Have an excellent weekend, and look forward to doing more of these videos and sharing some breaking news updates with you. Have a great time.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.